Hey everyone, Skull 902 here, and I'm going to be taking yet another trip with my memory lane buddies. I have Tails the Power 71 here with me right now.
Hello, you beautiful people. Hopefully, you're having a great Monday.
Yeah, buddy. There was a bit of a lineup change from the time that I uh, like posted the original announcement. We are supposed to be joined by Yancy and Laz, who concerningly are not here yet. So hopefully they can join us at some point and uh, put down some answers and have some conversation with us. Because as it stands, we all live in a Pokemon world. We all want to be the greatest master of them all. So yeah, that just about sums up what we're doing. Pokemon, uh, big franchise, monster battles, collectibles, gotta catch 'em all that good shit. So that's what we're here to discuss in this episode today. I'm dragging this on. Let's get to our first topic. We have five. Uh, uh, we have like 5 points here for this episode of Memory Lane Buddies. The first of which is how did you discover Pokemon? So I feel like TTP and I are going to end up having very similar stories, but TTP, uh, let us know how did you personally discover the franchise?
Oh man, well, first of all, thanks for having me on, Skull. I really appreciate it, and I appreciate you. And once again, hello everybody. How did I discover Pokemon? Easy actually. It was a cold December day. I was at a Christmas party at one of my friends' house, and I was hanging out with my friend and his two sisters. And the next thing you know, they haul out these cards, and I'm just like, hmm, what is this? What are we diving into? At first, I thought like, okay, we're gonna go through like hockey cards or baseball cards or something like that. Next thing I see, I'm seeing like these really cool, um, like monster things on the cards, and I'm just I'm like totally blown away, and I'm seeing names like Charizard and oh gosh, I saw Charizard. Charizard was one of the first cards I saw, and I'm just like, what is this? What am I looking at? And they're like, oh, it's Pokemon. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm not familiar with this. What's going on here? So they filled me in. They gave me the details, and lo and behold, the next thing you know, I've discovered the Pokemon trading card game, and that is how I got into Pokemon. It was a boy, oh boy, oh boy. I want to say it was like Christmas of 1996, somewhere around there, when I discovered Pokemon. And then I remember in '98 discovering the anime, and that's and having played the trading card game, I knew right then and there. I was like, okay, yep, I'm definitely hooked. And um, I mean, Pokemon, along with another show, kind of became my gateway into anime as well. So Pokemon was a start for many things with me. It was for me the start of the trading card game franchise as a whole, generally, and also one of the gateway animes for leading me into anime. So yeah, that was a very fun experience. But yeah, how about you, Skull?
Okay, so I suppose mine's not quite as similar as I thought it was going to be, but uh, like as far as like discovery is a bit of a generous term here because as I'm thinking more about my earliest Pokemon memory, at least that I can like remember, uh, I was uh, I was in the Sears of the local mall with my parents, my siblings, and I remember seeing like a standee of sorts, like somewhere in that series that had like a bunch of those like beanbag plushes on it. Like if I remember correctly, I think I was seeing like at least Snorlax and Poliwhirl, in this display here. Uh, but like the reason why I say it's the earliest that I can recall and perhaps not my discovery was I think I remember thinking, oh, it's that thing that's been popping up, and that's just kind of how it seemed from like a lot of people's memories and whatnot. There's like one day Pokemon wasn't there, and then all of a sudden it was everywhere, and that was kind of like how it happened for me. I just saw that standee with the plushes. That must have been somewhere around like late 1998, early 99, somewhere around there. Um, but my brothers and I got hooked when the anime moved from syndication to Kids WB. That's kind of like when the franchise really exploded, and it was Pokemania from there on. Uh, Watching the show, I didn't really play the games all that much. My brothers had Game Boys, I didn't. Uh, so they got to experience the games, and I only got to like see like little tiny bits of it back then. Uh, but collecting like the toys, the trading cards. We weren't one of the select few people who actually knew how to play the game, uh, but we did like the art, so we collected the trading cards and stuff. It just kind of spiraled from there. But my earliest memory is going to that Sears and seeing that standee. Uh, and again, it's like Snorlax and Poliwhirl, I think, are the ones of probably many of those plushes that were in that display. But that's what I remember, my first memory of
Hmm.
Pokemon.
That's so cool. So I know you said that you like you didn't know how to play the trading card game, but you still did you collect the cards at all? I'm asking out of curiosity because like I did play the game and I tried to learn it and I mean I did play it, but I was by no means an excellent player. But is it something that you did try to learn over time?
Uh, m- like, yeah, we collected the cards. In fact, my childhood cards are. It's kind of funny because my older brother basically forced me to consolidate our collections because his binder broke. So he was like, "Hey, why don't we combine our binders?" And I was like, "No." And he was like, well, we're gonna do it anyway." Uh, so so my binder is full of mine and his cards. Uh, but he organized it very neatly. I must say, every Pokemon is in Pokedex order.
Ooh.
Uh, so hello Eddie, welcome to the podcast. Uh, at least because like I had no organizational skill, at least with those cards back then. I was like keeping a lot of the energy cards just kind of like when you open the binder up, there wasn't like proper sleeves in the pages, or well, there was. It's just like there was, like how a school folder works. There's like one little flap. I was
Yeah,
keeping like a
yeah.
bunch of energy cards there, and I think I just like in the actual proper pages, I was putting the monster cards. So like my collection was not very well organized at all. Um, but when he consolidated our collections, he made it a lot neater. Um, uh, and I also misremembered our Charizard cards as well, because for the longest time I was like, oh, mine's the first edition, but no, his is the first edition. Mine's in better
Okay.
condition though, so
Okay.
that's the
Okay.
trade-off. Mine looks a lot better than his, but his is the first edition Charizard. Um, but yeah, no, we tried to actually answer your question. To We tried to play, but the rules are so complicated. Everything's decided by a coin flip. Uh,
Yep.
uh, like, and then you also have to like. It seems like everything you can't just be like, "Oh, okay, Charizard uses Fire Spin or whatever. Like it's so complicated. and you have to go through so many hoops to just do one thing. It's not the game for me. Yu-Gi-Oh was much more accessible in that regard when we started getting into those. But we did collect the cards because we loved the art on them.
Yes.
Um, Especially for me, my favorite cards were the ones that had the 3D renders because that was, I'm sure you can understand TTP, like, the late 90s, early 2000s. That was when 3D was still, uh, like the the nifty gimmick. Uh, so like, um, I remember a Ghastly card that had the 3D. That one was like my favorite one. There's like a Star You, a Star Me. Like if you look up those early cards that have the 3D renders in them, bro, I love that shit. Yeah,
Mhm.
the cards
Yep.
do in fact play a big role in my Poke nostalgia.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm glad they do. They're you brought up the art on the cards and stuff, and that was another reason I loved getting the Pokemon trading card game cards as well for the artwork. See, the thing is, I mean, and you brought up like the standee with the plushes and stuff like that, and I'll talk about this more later on in the episode, but the bringing that up, part of the thing was where I live because of the conservatism, I will say. Let's just say Pokemon did not fare well over here on this side of the state, so stores were very hesitant to promote anything Pokemon, so we didn't really get the Pokemon merch and things like that over here. So I rarely saw it in public, but when I did, it was really cool. But I mean, you live well. One, you live on the other side of the state. Number one, and number two, you live near a major city,
Yeah,
so that I'm sure really helped like the exposure, having access to more things. Pokemon, not just the cards, but also just merch in general, and yeah, I think for me, the only places that I can think of that I remember seeing anything Pokemon locally was at a store. And here's a '90s throwback. If anybody remembers the store Software Etc., that is where I saw um, basically anything Pokemon. Outside of that store, I really did not see it around here. So, and which meant that I didn't really have anybody to play the trading card game with anyway. So it just made things a little more um, inaccessible for me. But even though whenever I got a chance to get the cards and stuff, I loved collecting them, and I wish I still had them. But a lot of them have vanished just over time. And yeah, I still have a few though. I do have a holographic Pikachu card, which I absolutely love. So
hell yeah.
yeah.
Uh, Eddie's asking if you had the Charizard that cost like $2 million, what would you do? Well, you see, that's potentially my older brother because he has the first edition Holo Charizard. So it's not in great condition though. It probably would still sell for like a decent chunk of money, just because that card in general is very expensive now. Um, but uh, probably not the 2 million range. But he like if he really wanted to sell it, he could probably get it for like a few hundred. Uh, but the card is very special to him, so I I don't think that's going up on eBay or anything. Uh, but yeah, no, if I had a mint condition like of that Charizard card, first of all I'd be wondering how the hell I got it. But then I would definitely consider selling it because I mean having such an item is a pretty cool thing to have. But $2 million is $2 million. So, uh, yeah. Um, so that's kind of how like we discovered and got into the franchise. Hello, wow, welcome. Uh, Our next topic here is favorite Pokemon. So just our favorite Pokemon. Uh, and TTP, you can get into multiple categories too, but I know I've been asked this question on the Sonic Song streams, on my own channel and whatnot, and I'll just repeat it here. Uh, like just base as a Pokemon, it's Charizard. Call me a basic bitch all you want. I'm from Gen One, baby. I grew up on it. Uh, I'm an OG. All right. We had Squirtle, we had Bulbasaur, we had Charmander. I thought the Charmander line was the coolest of them all. Uh, you can't go wrong with a cool fire-breathing orange dragon. God damn it. Uh, uh, and then for legendaries, it's got to be Lugia. Lugia just looks so fucking cool, and like uh, I don't know, just I really liked playing through Silver. Silver was the first, and I'll get into the game in just a moment because that's our third category. But Silver was the first Pokemon game that I beat. Um, so it's got a kind of special connection in that way too. Uh, I don't really remember seeing much of the movie when I was a kid, but I don't know. Lugia made a pretty big impression on me. I think he's got like a cool look, color scheme, all that. The shiny is great as well. Uh, so yeah, Lugia. Um, and then if we want to get very specific about a Pokemon, then gotta go Team Rocket's Meowth. Dude's a bro.
Hmm. 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 Yeah.
I love him, man. He's cool. He can talk. Uh, so there's my answers. TTP, how about you?
Skull. Before I dive in, I love that you brought up Team Rockets, Jesse and James's Meowth. I do love that Meowth so much. It's great, um, and it's oh gosh, it just I know like favorite episodes is going to come up later in the or movies and episodes is going to come up later, but I will say this: I really did love the episode "Go Westward," young Meowth. That was a great episode when you kind of get Meowth's backstory and how
Oh
he
yeah,
how he was able to talk and learn to talk and stuff. I thought that was actually I really love that. That episode really tugged on my heartstrings a lot. And that actually I've got a lot of respect for that Meowth specifically. I do. I really do. And I think that's super cool.
yeah.
But
Dude just
anyway,
went through all those challenges just to get rejected again, man. The heartbreaking.
exactly. Oh yeah, I know. And it was oof, yeah. If you were like if you know you know if you've seen the episode you get it, like Meowth, that poor Meowth went through a lot and suffered a lot of rejection, and boy, just yeah, and finally ended up finding a family of sorts, even though if they're a little misguided, but still it's still a tender sweet moment in the anime for sure. Um but as far as um my favorite Pokemon, I'm gonna be very basic here. I'm with you, Skull, on this one. I'm also a Gen 1 guy. Give me the OG 151. That's really the Pokemon I know best, because I grew up with it. It stuck with me the longest. Um, Now I've seen um, most of the anime. I'm good through the Alolan stuff. Now, if you were to ask me about Alolan Pokemon, yeah, no. Um, and good grief, like I'd have to like open up Pokemon Go and look at my Pokedex and stuff like that, and like anything beyond Gen 1, I need some I need some refreshing for sure. But for me, I love Pikachu. Pikachu was the first Pokemon that I actually fell in love with. Um, and actually, part of that is because of Super Smash Brothers on N64.
Hey.
That game was my jam in high school. Um, so I was the loser kid that would go home, that like would leave early from high school dances and stuff like that. I would leave early, go home, lock myself in my room, fire up Super Smash Bros. And play that game like all hours of the night as Pikachu, to a point where I entered some local tournaments in my home city for Smash Bros. And that was a lot of fun, and I did very very well as Pikachu. So Pikachu is definitely my buddy. I was definitely all throughout high school. I was very very obsessed with Pikachu, which will come up later during the merchandise portion of the podcast, because something Pikachu stumbled into my life, and I love that thing until it died, and I had to throw it away sadly. But
Oh.
yeah, but it is what it is. But yeah, I love Pikachu. But in terms of really today, I still love Pikachu. But and I've said this many times before on your stream, Skull, my streams, and other people's streams. I love Eevee. I'm all about the evolutions. I love Eevee so much. I would be like, if I were isekai'd into um the Pokemon universe, I would definitely 100% be an Eevee trainer, hands down. I love that little guy so much. Um, and I'd love to train all the evolutions as well. So actually, I think there's an episode of, and I think it is in the um, oh good grief, that just went out of my head. Can't think of the, gosh darn it, the Indigo League. Good grief. Where there is a episode with the, I think it's the Eevee brothers or something like that, or the Eevee siblings, where they all train Eevees and stuff, and I think that is super cool. I love it. I love that episode so much. But yeah, that's 100%. Um, I would love that. Kanto. Good grief. Why can I think of the Kanto region? Good grief. Um, but yeah, that's for me, that's pretty much it. But I love all the Fox Pokemons. I do. So yes, I love Vulpix. I love Ninetales. I love Fennekin from the later season. I think that's Pokemon X and Y. I
Hmm.
think. Um, oh gosh, yeah, I love like just all the Fox variants and things like that. And I mean, I'm biased. I love foxes, so that's yeah. Anyway, whew, that's pretty much it for me. I do, and I mean, there are others I love, and I could probably, like, if I had a little more time, I probably could come up with a short honorable mentions list, but I'll save that for another day.
Yeah, yeah. There's plenty of other goated Pokemon out there. Uh, a shout out to Poliwhirl. Uh, but
Yes.
uh, yeah, like gotta keep this rolling. Um, So next up, favorite Pokemon game, and this could be anything. So whether it's one of the mainline RPGs, maybe one of the console spin-offs, uh, or something like Pokemon Sleep for whatever reason. You can just whatever comes to mind. TTP, what is your favorite Pokemon game?
I'm going to divide this up. I'm going to bring up three because three of them were very special to me. The first game, Pokemon game that I ever played was Pokemon Yellow. And so I am very biased. I love Yellow so much, still do to this day. And it's probably very obvious why I love Yellow. Um, but I do love yellow a lot because you got Pikachu as a starter, and I love that. Excuse me, I love that so much. So that was the first game I played. Now I actually never owned it. It was a game that I played at my friend's house. I think he did let me borrow his Game Boy at one point, and I borrowed it for like a week and played it, and I had so much fun with it. It was great. Gosh, I miss that game. That'd be a fun game to pick up again sometime and just play. That'd be great. Um, Another game for me that I really loved, and again, it was because I was real heavy in the Pikachu phase, and it was a very gimmicky kind of game, but I still loved it for the N64. Hey, you Pikachu! Um,
Yeah.
I I I loved it so much. Um, and unfortunately, I was not allowed to get that game for some reason. I don't remember why. That was another game that I had to play at a friend's house. But I loved it, and my friend and I we bonded over that game pretty hard, even though it was very gimmicky. And I was in high school when that came out, so it was, you know, it was very gimmicky, but it was we just had a good time with it and telling Pikachu to do different things and stuff. Like, yeah, I mean, were there more like higher quality games back then? Absolutely, but it was just kind of a fun game to chill and who knew that like you could hook up a microphone to your N64 controller and just talk to Pikachu and have Pikachu do some fun things. But I will say it was very cursed because I don't. Maybe it was just my voice. I don't know, but it was like there were times where Pikachu would just not listen to me or totally misheard me and would do something else. So I don't know. So it might be me. I'm not sure, but yeah. So that was another game for me, and a couple more that are very nostalgic for me. One of the first Pokemon games that I actually ever owned was um, Pokemon Y on 3DS, and I still have that. I should fire up my 3DS and play that again sometime because I enjoyed playing that. I had a good time with it, and that's another reason I love it. But a game that really um, I got into hardcore was Pokemon Go, and I remember the weekend it launched. It was right after 4th of July here in the US. And I remember being in the car on my way home when actually it was Rouge when Rouge texted me and was like, Pokemon Go's now available. I'm like, what? So I got on my app store and downloaded it and fired it up, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And that first weekend that Pokemon Go came out, it was amazing. Rouge, my my now cousin through marriage, Blaze, and myself, um, we spent the first weekend that Pokemon Go went live. We spent that first weekend together. Blaze had was living in a apartment complex, and in kind of the middle of a college town. So that very first weekend, it was Friday night. It's like 11 o'clock at night. There were at least 500 people walking around that apartment complex because there were two stops in that Pokemon complex, and so people were coming in off the streets, driving around. You could tell who was playing Pokemon Go because everybody was glued to their phone screen, and everybody is like swiping the stops and stuff like that. And we're all just like going nuts, and people are just yelling. It's like midnight, 1 in the morning, and people are yelling, there's a Lapras over here. And then next thing you know, there's like 300 people just running simultaneously over there. And I caught it. Blaze caught it. Rouge did not catch it. It ran away from her, and she was so sad. It took her, I think, a year and a half to finally find another Lapras. Um, which really that really sucked. She also had the same thing happen to with Dragonite as well. She was down in Puerto Rico, and she saw a Dragonite and tried to catch it, and it ran away from her. She was so mad about that. Um, but Pokemon Go, definitely a very special game for me. Very, very memorable. Rouge and I still talk about that first, the opening weekend of Pokemon Go and how fun it was. And gosh, I think that was 2016. So we're
Hmm.
coming up on 10 years. Coming up on 10 years next year of Pokemon Go. And I haven't played Pokemon Go in a couple years. But I will say if I know they just had a big update to the leveling system in Pokemon Go in the last couple weeks, but if they do something special for the 10th anniversary of Pokemon Go, I will be there. I will do something. If they host an event somewhere, like maybe in Detroit or Chicago or something like that, I will like Rouge and I will definitely try to attend that event. So anyway, that was a long response. I'm sorry. How about for you, Skull?
Uh, well, it's fun though. I could picture the events in my head. Um, you mentioned Hey You Pikachu. And uh, I like my big impression of that was I remember seeing the commercials when the game first came out. But I definitely remember. I have no idea what magazine it was or whatever. But I remember seeing an ad for it in a magazine. And I thought it was like so funny. Uh, when I was a kid, where it was like uh, good ideas, like something like that. It was like a good idea to tell your Pikachu something like, "Hey, let's go play catcher," or something along those lines. And Pikachu was happy, and it was like, here's a bad thing to say. It's like, "Hey, Pikachu, wash my socks," something like that. Like, do my laundry, and then he's just looking at the camera all pissed off. It was beautiful. Uh, and then uh, for your concerns about like the whole voice recognition thing, um, like uh, it's honestly a miracle that Hey You Pikachu even came over here because I had to do a lot of complicated programming and stuff. But uh, I don't know when your voice got deeper, but like uh, the game is kind of more so programmed to hear the commands in high pitches because they assumed like most of the people playing it were going to be kids, so that may have something to do with it.
Yeah, I could see that.
Uh, Eddie here says there was this Pokemon video by Smosh where they sang a parody of the theme song and it was pretty funny. I remember that. Try to
Oh, I
sue
do
us
too.
now. Uh, Goodness. But my favorite Pokemon game, uh, I kind of mentioned earlier, the first one that I beat was Silver. I'm gonna say Gen 2 as a whole, but like Silver is the one I think that I kind of hold the closest. But we'll just umbrella this Gen 2, Gold, Silver, Crystal. Um, you know, I'm a Gen 1 and 2 guy. So I think that the Gen 2 games kind of took the stuff that did work about the Gen 1 formula because like it's not like red, blue, yellow, those aren't bad games, but you could definitely see the need for improvement in them uh, with a lot of the stuff like you can't visually see the progression of your Pokemon's leveling up. So like you have to go into the menu and look at their stats to see how much experience that you need to get them to the next level. Uh, the same for like using HM moves. You can't just do it when you're in the overworld. You have to pause the game and then go to your list, select cut or whatever you need. So there's a lot of inconvenience in there. Uh, Not to mention, some of the stuff like 100% accurate moves aren't actually 100% accurate. Uh, there was definitely some stuff that they could fix. The sprite art, wasn't a home run every time. But Gen 2, for being Game Boy slash Game Boy Color release, like they just seemed to fix all of those issues. But they did it in a way that kept Pokemon to its intended simplicity, which I think is something that later games kind of had a problem with because they would add like a little something to just make it like a bit more complicated. I know you got to add more stuff to it to make it different, but at the same time, the user friendliness I think went down with a lot of those changes. Um, Gen 2 just kind of hits that perfect balance, which I think is pretty cool. And like they introduced a couple new types, steel and dark, which changed up the dynamics in a fun, interesting way. It also meant or well it like it meant a new evolution for one of them. The other's psychic, but whatever. uh the legendaries were fun. You got Lugia and Ho-Oh, but then you also have Entei, Raikou, and Suicune, cover star of Crystal. Uh, you know, um, the story is fun. Like the part that kind of like sticks out for me the most is when you go through the newly reformed Team Rocket's underground bunker with Lance. You are literally kicking Team Rocket's ass with the reigning Pokemon World Champion. Like this is fucking cool, man. Uh, and it's just a fun wild ride. And then of course when you win the Pokemon League, then Kanto opens up, and it's a little smaller than it is in the others, but it's mostly intact, and that's pretty cool. uh, that they were able to fit like the whole other map pretty much. Uh, into the game, and you can win all those gym badges and stuff. And then of course you face Red at the very end. So you know, it's a very cool, rewarding thing. The post game content is excellent. I just love Gen 2, and like. For me personally, I guess I'll mention Crystal first, because uh, I didn't play it, but I definitely remember when that game launched. Um, because I remember my older brother got it. It was sometime in the summer of 2001 or so. Uh, and I remember my older brother got it, and he started up the game, and it was interesting because like we were hunkered in the master bedroom of our house. Me, my two brothers, and our mom. We're all just there watching my older brother play. And my little brother, who also had a Game Boy, he was like, "Man, I want to play this too." So like a day or two later, uh, uh, got the game for him. Uh, I think my grandma did, and then we had like the same experience, sitting around late summer night in that room just watching him play through the game and stuff. It was pretty neato burrito. Uh, but for Silver, um, that was the first Pokemon game that I beat. It was the first one that I tried, actually, back in 2006, '05 to '06, somewhere around there. Uh, I was like, hey, can I just borrow Pokemon Silver? My one of my brothers, I forget which one, loaned it to me, but he was like, yeah, sure. Uh, so I was playing through it. I got like 7 gym badges, and then the save battery died. Uh,
Oh no.
I was pretty sad about that. But then many years later, I found my perfectly legitimate PC Game Boy, uh, and I gave it another shot because I remembered that experience, and just going through everything again. It was so cool. And like I remember the final battles and my little brother kind of coaching me on what might be a good idea, what might not be, and all that stuff. It was fun. I love Pokemon Gen 2. And that's basically all I have to say about that. Favorite Pokemon game. Uh, Gen 2. Gold, Silver, Crystal, fucking goated. Best Pokemon ever got.
That is awesome. I love that. Hey, going back real quick, you brought up the a couple things with Hey You Pikachu. First of all, you brought up the advertisement on TV. Are you thinking of the dog one where the dog is not getting love and the kid is spending all of his time like pet like, and the dog is just like, I can't believe this.
That was probably it.
Okay.
I didn't remember the dog nearly as much as I remembered just that there's a game that lets you talk to Pikachu. uh,
Okay.
that's because like that's kind of what drew me in back when I was a kid. I was like, oh man, that's so cool! You could talk to Pikachu. Oh my god. Uh, but yeah, uh, I doubt that there was like another commercial for it, but that's uh, that's that's probably the one. Um,
You know, I I'm gonna look this up real quick. I'm gonna see Hey You Pikachu commercial. I'm just curious
cause like
if
I know I've
yeah, I
seen
think
it
this is it.
when I got older. But like as far as like my childhood memory of it, I just remember it's Hey You Pikachu, you talk to Pikachu.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, I think this is here, I'll put it just in case anybody in chat is curious. This is the I think that's it. That's the commercial that I'm thinking of for Hey You Pikachu. Um but yeah, I'm glad you brought that up though, Skull, because the other thing I remember, you also talked about an ad in a magazine for Hey You Pikachu.
Yeah.
Um, and okay, anybody remember Nintendo Power magazine?
Oh yeah.
Uh, you know that magazine was the shit. Like that was a I loved that publication so much. I miss it. It's too bad it died, but um, that was great. But Nintendo Power, I don't remember which issue it was, but they put out it was like a 4-page article about Hey You Pikachu. I wore that issue out with how much I read that article about Hey You Pikachu. I freaking loved it so much. It was great. But I since you brought up the Hey You Pikachu thing, and going back to the voice thing, I never thought of that, Skull, but I think that would make a lot of sense because my voice started getting deeper about 8th grade for me. So by the time I was a freshman in high school, my voice had already gotten deeper, and the only reason I know that is because I was already a bass in our choir by high school. So
Yeah.
um, that actually would make a lot of sense if um, Pikachu didn't understand me very well
Yeah.
because of the deep voice.
Yeah.
So that
Uh,
that makes sense.
yeah, the complicated voice technology is also why they never attempted a European release because like not only was like are you dealing with a shitload of different languages, but then there's also a bunch of different accents on top of those languages that would make the game like way too challenging to release over there.
Yeah.
Uh, so yeah, there's our spiels about the Pokemon games. Uh,
Yep.
Now we're gonna go to movie or TV show episode you love. I had like a couple little thoughts on this. Like I'll just go with the TV shows first. Or well, the TV episodes. Um, you got some pretty goated ones like the one that TTP mentioned earlier about Meowth's tragic backstory. Uh, you got stuff like Bye Bye Butterfree, uh, and God, if I can actually remember any titles. But I remember. I think we had it on. Yeah, we had it on tape. We didn't just rent it. We had the tape. Uh, one where Pikachu considers, staying at this like Pikachu sanctuary of sorts in the woods. But then at the end,
Hmm.
he and Ash, reunite, decide to stick together as pals. Um, but one that I very much remember from when I was a kiddo, and I had to look up the title for this before. It's called Snow Way Out. Uh, where like it just made a bit of an impression on me. I thought that the sentiment, that Ash is trapped in the ice cave, and you know he just uh, takes all of his Pokemon out, and they're just kind of like, you know what, fuck it. If we're gonna die, we might as well do it together. Uh, you know, uh, it's great. I love it. And it it left an impression on me way back when. Um, so uh, it's some nice heartwarming stuff. As far as the movies, uh, I uh, I have a soft spot, of course, for the first movie. I don't really remember seeing 2000 when I was a kid. I know I did, but it was like I only remember like the teeniest little bits. I think I got uh, more of an understanding of 2000 through like a little magazine section on it than I did the actual movie. Uh, or like a book or something. I remember a book that had, I think it was maybe a novelization or something, but it had like in the middle of it, color pages with like screenshots of the movie. Uh, so that's what I remember. But Pokemon Movie 3, I think, is my favorite of the ones I've seen. Just because I like the the tragic story with the Entei and the little girl who lost her father. Um, and for my money, some of the best fucking fight scenes that I've seen come from the franchise, specifically like the one that Misty has, uh, where it's like underwater themed, and like the Pokemon and the trainers are just kind of like swimming around as they're like commanding the Pokemon and whatnot. Like that was just a really cool look. Uh, so uh, it had a really good story, and the aesthetics were uh, just uh, just top tier. So Pokemon Movie 3 is kind of like the one that I nod my head at, and I'm like, yeah. Uh, and then just
Hmm.
for honorable mention's sake, I still do think that Detective Pikachu is the best theatrical video game movie. Uh, Theatrical American video game movie that's been made. So, yeah. TTP, how about you?
Hmm. That's excuse me. That is very interesting, and I wish I could say for movies. I wish I could say I have a favorite movie, but I'm gonna be 100% honest. I'm not as well versed with the movies as I am with the anime TV shows specifically. But one of the earliest episodes for me that I absolutely fell in love with right away is from the first part of the Johto series. The episode is called Once in a Blue Moon. And that's the episode where Ash and gang meet Quagsire. Quagsire is stealing all the round objects, all the circular round objects, and they're taking them upstream for a ritual of some kind, and yeah, they end up at near the end of the episode. Spoiler alert: they end up at a place called Blue Moon Falls, and then they kind of like offer the round objects up in the air. They throw them up in the air, and then they float back down river where everybody collects them and stuff like that. And actually, Ash and everybody gets arrested because they interfere with the Quagsires at the beginning of the episode. So Officer Jenny comes in and arrests everybody. Ash and everyone for interfering with the Quagsire. But good old Professor Oak comes in and saves the day and gets Ash out of trouble. But yeah, I'm trying to remember. Oh, they took the Quagsire took the GS ball. That was it. It took me a minute to remember that. Yeah. Ash accidentally dropped the GS ball and a Quagsire grabbed it, and Ash was trying to get it back, and Officer Jenny intervened. That was a great episode. What made it really memorable for me was the music. There was I loved the song that played as the Quagsire were kind of like offering the round objects, throwing them up against the waterfall towards like the blue moon. Um, the song that plays is called Everything Changes, and it's actually on the To Be a Master soundtrack, which I did not know at the time. So I absolutely loved that song so much, to a point where I actually interfaced my VCR with a computer, so I could actually record the fucking song. So I could have an MP3 of it, even though I didn't have, a way to remove like, Ash and Misty's and Brock's voices and all that. I couldn't remove their voices from the song, but I was just like, I don't care. I don't care. I want this song. So, um, because I was smart. And I actually recorded the episode because at that time when that episode aired, I was in wrestling practice, so I didn't get home until like 5 or 6 o'clock at night. And Pokemon aired on Cartoon Network at like 5 in the afternoon or something like that. So, or even later than that, I don't remember. But yeah, so I had to um, record all the stuff I wanted to watch. So fortunately, I had it recorded, and also I was smart that I hooked up the VCR to the computer and saved the song because I accidentally recorded over the episode, which I was very sad about. And it wasn't until college when I saw the episode again. But yeah, it was what it was. But at least I had the song. And then I discovered the To Be a Master soundtrack and discovered that song was on it. And I was like, oh my God, yes, a clean version of the song. It's so good. And for speaking of the To Be a Master soundtrack, if you haven't checked it out, check it out. I would call that like a staple for the Pokemon um, franchise in terms of the music composition. The To Be a Master soundtrack is so good. It is a great soundtrack. And I've honestly noticed that with some Pokemon episodes for me. There's a couple episodes for me that really strike hard with the music. It might be a little cheesy and corny, but I don't know. For me, it was still good. One episode that I'm thinking of in particular, um, I don't remember the name of it. I'm actually trying to look it up right now, and I'm not sure if this is it or not. But there's like an episode where Pikachu gets amnesia or gets brainwashed or something like that, and Ash near the end of the episode jumps in like a river or body of water of some kind to save Pikachu from drowning, and Ash nearly drowns. And I think Pikachu ends up saving him. And there's a song that plays during that moment as um, Ash and Pikachu are kind of having this bond underwater as they're drowning. And that I don't know what it is, but that moment just was it was very special for me. Um, the other and one honorable mention here. I think this is the series with May and Max. I think Max is trying to save a Ralts, if I remember correctly, and Max is running Ralts to a Pokemon Center for aid. And I think the song that plays in the background is called "Please Read My Mind" or something like that. And gosh, that episode, I don't know what it is, but that moment when Max is running to the Pokemon Center and that song is playing in the background, just to try to save a Pokemon, and Max, like May and everybody show up as Ralts is in the operating room getting fixed up by Nurse Joy, and Max just loses it right there, and just that was a very tender moment for me. And I don't know, like again, like a lot of Pokemon episodes tend to revolve around music for me. So yeah.
I can see what you mean. a lot of a lot of the memorable moments and this is for anything really, but music can definitely help set the mood. Uh, Goodness. But you did mention Everything Changes and the To Be a Master soundtrack. I just want to quickly mention, most of those songs, plus some other ones, of course, were featured in the amazing Pokemon Live show, which, if you haven't seen, highly recommend. Go look it up on YouTube, Pokemon Live. It is incredible. Uh, but yeah. So there's our movies and TV shows, and whatnot. So our last category here before we get to what may or may not be the fan question, uh, is Pokemon merch you love. So any like special item that you got or maybe would have wanted, over time. Just, just whatever, just name a few. This can the trading cards can count, although I think we talked a lot about the trading cards. So, uh, but whatever. TTP. What's some Pokemon merch that you have acquired or maybe admired over the years?
Yeah, outside of the trading card game and some of the cards that I've got, I was in a store. I was not in Michigan. I don't remember what state I was in. It might have been Indiana or Ohio or something like that. Maybe even Illinois. I don't remember, but we were on a road trip. My family and I. We were on our way home. This was about 2000, I would say, and we stopped off in a city, and we found ourselves in like a not a souvenir shop necessarily, but maybe like a gift shop or something like that. I wish I could remember, but we went in the store and they had umbrellas and like umbrellas on display, like hanging from the ceiling for sale. And I'm like, okay. And they had the umbrellas opened up, and I'm looking at the umbrellas, and I see a bright yellow one. I'm like, what is that? And I go over to it. It's a freaking whole head Pikachu umbrella, complete with the ears and everything. I'm like, I need, and I think I looked at my mom. I'm like, I need this umbrella, and I need it right now.
Oh man.
Again, I was at the height of my Pikachu obsession at that time. Like I dreamed, like I was literally having dreams about being Pikachu and having electric abilities and stuff like that. So I was just like, oh my gosh, I need this umbrella in my life. So they bought it for me. And I used the heck out of that umbrella, and tragically, and this is what I was alluding to earlier in the show, tragically it died. It just, I think if I remember what happened correctly, we had a like a heavy wind event come through, and I was outside. I was probably walking to the bus stop, and the frame of the umbrella got bent to a point
Oh,
where it wasn't opening or closing properly, and there was no way to fix it because a big gust of wind came through and inverted the umbrella. And as it inverted the umbrella, I think it bent some of the little arms that hold the fabric open, and I think it snapped some of the umbrellas as well. So that sucked. That wasn't good, and yeah, I end up saying goodbye to the umbrella sadly because it was just beyond repair. But that was still definitely one of my favorite Pokemon things that I've got. But I would say more recently, um, well, I do love my Build-A-Bear Pikachu.
hey.
I do love my Build-A-Bear Pikachu. I remember going in and getting that during the height of Pokemon Go as well, and having yeah, that was great. I think we all ended up getting a like big Pikachu plushie at Build-A-Bear, so that was fun. And yeah, that was great. So now I've got and my Build a Bear Tails from the Sonic movie. My Build a Bear Tails sits next to my Build a Bear Pikachu. So
There you go.
yep, I'd say those. That's pretty much it for merch. Because like I said, and I was alluding to earlier in the show, there wasn't much around here in terms of merch because um, certain groups of people believe that Pokemon was the work of the devil and things like that. And being the area that I lived in, I it was very frowned upon. And Pokemon was just very treated poorly. So I think stores around here were very hesitant to offer anything Pokemon. So you had to go to like you kind of had to dig deep if you wanted to find Pokemon things around here. Like I said, software etc. for me was the place to go if I wanted anything Pokemon, but they didn't have like all the plushies and things like that. So it's very different now around here. You can get Pokemon. You can go anywhere and almost find anything Pokemon now. So I think it's relaxed considerably. The culture has changed a lot now, but definitely growing up, it was harder to find the Pokemon merch. So that's pretty much it for me in terms of the Pokemon merch.
Gotcha, gotcha. Um, I don't really think that I have any modern examples, at least not that I can think of. Because like I think everything that I had was from when I was a kid. But still, some good memories. Um, I remember some plush dolls. Uh, had a Charmander, and I have no idea how I lost it because I remember having that still somewhere when I was a teenager, but just I have no idea where it is now if it's still around. Um, but uh, Another one I kind of remember, your Build-A-Bear Pikachu kind of reminded me. I think I was going to mention this anyway, but I think I've told the story on stream too before. But it was like Christmas time, like 1999 or so, and we like as a family, my mom like got her first personal computer around then. We were introduced to the internet and all of its amazing wonders. So I think my mom was perusing Amazon, and so she got all of us to take turns and just kind of browse and be like, hey, if you want me to get anything from the internet, let me know. So I saw this Pikachu plush, and I was like, Mom, I want this Pikachu. Yes, please, Pikachu. She was like, okay. So Christmas time comes around, uh, and there's Pikachu, and it was exactly the one that was on the Amazon listing, but it was for my older brother, and I was so jealous. I was so unbelievably jealous. I asked for that Pikachu, damn it. Uh, so it was his
Oh
Pikachu.
no!
Uh, and though I did end up in possession of it later on, I don't quite remember how that happened, but you know, uh, like. Uh, I ended up with it, and I had it for a good while until we moved to our current place, and I was digging through my box of plushes, and I was like, "Oh yeah, Pikachu." Uh, and we had just moved in there, so I went to my older brother and I was like, "Hey, this was your Christmas gift. Do you want it?" And he was like, "Yeah, sure." So he took it. Um, so uh, that's kind of the story of that. But I do also remember like the Pokemon figures that Toei made, and they weren't all that great. They didn't really have like any articulation or anything. Like say you got like a figure of Ash and it was just him in like a fixed pose. Same with like Misty or Brock or James, whatever. Uh, but they would come with like minifigs of Pokemon as well. So I remember having a lot of those, along with the trainers. Uh, and those were fun to collect and look at. And some of them, unfortunately, like the ones with stands, uh, some of them I think stayed intact. Some of them did not. I remember my little brother had a Starmie, and that was one of the ones that was on a stand. And unfortunately, uh, someone must have like accidentally tripped on it or something. But Starmie did not stand up straight after that.
Hmm.
But I remember like some of they used to do like rubber ones as well. Like they would come inside like a little Pokeball. So you'd have like a plastic Pokeball and inside was like a rubber figure. I remember having a lot of fun with a Charizard one. Uh, and uh, that was cool. There was also like fast food promotions as well, particularly with Burger King. I remember, I think it was like the first time that they ever did one. I got like Toros, and I remember like we went to the Burger King and we went down, sat inside and ate, and it had a playground in there. So I opened this thing up, and I'm like, I don't know what this Pokemon is. So like I asked, instead of like going to my brother or something, I just saw this like random girl pass by and I was like, "Hey, could you answer a question for me real quick?" And she was like, "Sure." And I'm like, "Do you know what this Pokemon is?" And she was like, "It's Tauros." And I was like, "Oh, okay, thank you." Uh so that's how I found out what Tauros was. Uh um but then they also had some weird ones where it was like a plastic card with a light inside. You could make the Pokemon light up. But the ones I remember the most were like the collectible ones with the gold cards. And we do still have, I think, like two of those gold cards. Unfortunately, we do not have the Pokeballs that they were packaged in. And I remember loving the shit out of those because they had they were big, they were very hard plastic, they had a nice spring to them when you push the button to open it, and the tops were chrome, so they looked really fancy. Uh, so
Ooh.
uh, I loved those Pokeballs, and uh, I remember my older brother and I. We had like a good few of those Pokeballs as well, and uh, we simulated a trainer battle using those Pokeballs. Uh, and whatnot. So I have really good memories of those to the point where I forgot that that's what the gold cards were packaged in. Uh, so um, that's kind of my answer for Pokemon merch is just those old figures, the plushes, just a random amalgamation of stuff that mostly revolves around Burger King. So take that as you will. Trip, hello, welcome. Says Pokey the Man is fun game and anime. Well, thank you, my dude. So uh,
It's
there's
true.
there's my little spiel about merch. Now we have the fan question. So Eddie, if you have come up with something, now is the time to bring it up. Uh, uh, Otherwise, we're gonna call it an episode here.
Yep. And while we wait for Eddie, something I'll bring up real quick here too that I'm thinking of. Like looking at my shelf behind me, like I don't just have Sonic stuff on it. I've got my Pikachu amiibo there. I love that thing. It looks really cool. But one thing I have to bring up, and Rouge would be, I think Rouge would be mad at me if I didn't forget it because Rouge and I get a lot of compliments during the winter. Um, I have a full Pikachu head hat beanie, and complete with the ears, and it's got like yellow strings coming down with Pokeballs attached to it. Um, and So I've got a Pikachu hat that I wear during the winter, and she has a Meowth hat um, that she wears during the winter months. So like we'll walk in places and um, I'll get more compliments because everybody recognizes Pikachu, but you can tell who the Pokemon fans are because they'll recognize obviously Pikachu, but then they'll recognize Rouge's Meowth hat, and she'll be like, people are just like, oh, nice hats and stuff like that, and it's great. So Rouge is just like, yeah, I am the antagonist to his protagonist. It's so funny, like just how she says it, and like we get an absolute kick out of that, like just walking into places and I've got my Pikachu hat on, she's got her Meowth hat on, and I love that hat so much. And actually that was a gift. My cousin Blaze gave that to me. She was just like, hey, I've got this Pikachu hat. I'm not really interested in it. You want it? I'm like, yes. So
Yeah, buddy.
that hat that hat came home with me, and that was that. I love that, and so I meant to throw that in earlier because that is actually something that Rouge and I bond over. Rouge and I also, going back to the games and stuff like that. Rouge grew up with Pokemon, and Rouge was probably more well versed in Pokemon than I was. But Rouge and I love to fire up Pokemon Stadium and Pokemon Stadium 2. Now and then on a Saturday evening, we'll just lounge around and we'll fire up Pokemon Stadium and play together. And she's just like, I'm 10 years old again. It's great.
Beautiful. You mentioning the Meowth beanie actually reminded me of something that I wanted to mention in the merch too. So I'll just throw it in there that another plush that my little brother and I had one of our own actually. It was back during the height of Pokemon, there was Pokemon everything. So there were like these little keychain plushes. And my little brother and I had Meowth ones, and I loved the shit out of it. Uh, Somehow the coin on mine got like ripped off, but I didn't care. I love Meowth. Uh, so my little brother and I used to play around with those Meowth plushes as if they were a father and son. Uh, and they would just go on little Meowth adventures as a family. Uh, and whatnot. Loved those little guys. And the I distinctly remember losing it. Because and this is going to sound so awful, but like I remember my last memory of that keychain Meowth plush. Uh, I left it in the front closet of my dad's house just before my grandma's funeral when I was 7 years old. Uh, so we went off, we did the funeral, went back to retrieve Meowth, couldn't find him. And I have no idea who took it or like whatnot. Could not find that thing again. So whoever on my dad's side of the family stole my Meowth, fuck you. Worst day to do it,
Oh,
too.
yeah, oh my gosh, that's awful. Oh, I'm sorry. That sucks. Damn.
Yeah. Um, so yeah, just uh, if I could find one in good condition, I might just get it. But yeah. So I think before we end here, because I don't think Eddie has a fan question, but before we end, Trip here says, "My little Meowth emblem thingy on my keychain has been my lucky charm since I learned how to drive. I will never remove it, despite minor criticism. Screw those people."
Yeah,
Uh,
screw them. Don't worry about
yeah.
it.
It's fun to see people's reaction around me when we're at a basketball game and we dangle our car keys to tell the visiting team to start their bus. Meowth's telling me to their trash. Ooh.
Oh,
Okay, Eddie's fan question was already answered. So I guess we covered
ah,
everything here today.
perfect.
Uh, all right. So that was Memory Lane Buddies. Somewhat unlucky episode 13. Everyone, Pokemon. Uh, so yeah,
Yeah, Laz.
a beloved franchise. it really is too bad that we couldn't get Yancy or Laz in here. I know that there's another couple of people that I could invite to talk about Pokemon. So maybe we'll do a Pokemon episode 2 someday with some more guests, some more varied stories and everything. But it was very nice, TTP, to sit down and shoot the shit with you about this franchise.
Oh, absolutely. I love Pokemon. And yeah, I wish I was a little more well versed, but again, Pokemon was that very, late 90s nostalgia for me. And like I'm glad I grew up with it. I was just outside that age threshold when it came to like the Pokemon anime, but kind of like what Tripp said, like I don't give a shit what people think of me. So, um, but yeah, it's all good. Oh my goodness. But yeah, this it was a lot of fun, Skull. I love hanging out and chatting Pokemon and other topics, and always a blast. Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem, my dude. But TTP and I must be off to go on many Meowth family adventures. That is to say, we've got some business to take care of. Um,
Yes.
so yeah, we're gonna leave it here. That has been episode 13 of Memory Lane Buddies. I hope that you guys enjoyed. Uh, and for anyone listening to the VOD, if you want to be in on the live recording session for Memory Lane Buddies, all you got to do is become a Memory Lane Buddies viewer at the channel memberships. So again, that's become a channel member at the Memory Lane Buddies viewer level. That's what I meant to say. And you can have access not only to the live stream where we actually do the podcast live, but every other month, we have the vote on the topic for Memory Lane Buddies. So yeah, but that'll do it for this one.
Yep.
And we'll see you all next time. So until then,
Yep.
I have been
Eh,
Skull 902. Oh,
Oh, and I was just gonna say, make sure to like and subscribe as well. Otherwise, you'll have a very sad meowth.
thank you, TTP. Uh, until next time, I have been Skull 902.
And I've been Tales of Prower 71. Meowth, that's right.
Meow, that's right. Thank you for watching, and have yourselves a wonderful day. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.